1998, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard won the inaugural Brunswick Women's World Open. Last year, it was Cara Honeychurch's turn, winning her first PWBA title at the Open. Can either one win it again? Find out next. Tonight's opening match features the 96 Rookie of the Year, qualifying 5th, Liz Johnson. Looking for title number 3 this year in the 4th position, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, and in her 5th appearance this season, qualifying 3rd, Marianne DiRupo. The winner there will challenge the 98 Queens champ in the number 2 spot, Lynda Barnes. And the victor there will face the hot hand of the top seed rookie, Cara Honeychurch, to determine the champ. Welcome inside Junction lanes in Newman, Georgia for the finals of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt along with my partner Lisa Wagner. We're glad you joined us. I'm sure many of you are familiar with jet lag, but imagine flying back from Japan on Friday and starting a professional competition on Saturday. That's what Lynda Barnes did, and Lisa, how did she handle that?
Well, actually Lynda could have chosen to take Saturday off, but she didn't. She stuck it out and bowled those extra voluntary pro-ams despite a blistered thumb. You know, Lynda has a very great work ethic. She's in great physical shape. I think she's going to handle it just great.
Marianne DiRupo is also in pretty good physical shape. She used to play professional softball, and that had a special meaning to her this week.
Well, that's right. She wants to match the gold medal that the women's softball team won in the Olympics. Not a lot of people know it, but she did play pro softball on the Budweiser Bells team. 4 of the team members on that gold medal team were on her team.
Wow. Well, we'll see if she has a chance at gold just a little later. Right now, she'll be joined by Carolyn Dorin-Ballard and Liz Johnson. There's the 3 ladies. Slap in 5. Left-hand slaps. Marianne DiRupo is going to start this match. She was the number 3 qualifier, and it was her choice. Players pick whether they want to start or finish, where they want to start based on where they want to finish, basically.
Yes, and often we do see the number 3 qualifier who does have that first choice. We see them go first.
And that's why they want to get the first strike out of the way. And on the scoreboard, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard up quickly. 36 years old, 11 years on tour. 9 titles, and I know last night she said today's going to be number 10.
Well, so did everybody else, though. Well, remember what she talked to us about last night.
She left a lot of those 8 pins. As we look at Liz Johnson stepping up, 26 years old. Playing a different line than the other ladies. Brushing the pocket back to Carolyn Dorin-Ballard. She said she left a lot of these 8 pins, 9 pins, and in fact last night fighting to make the show, the very first shot was a solid 7, and she said, I wouldn't have expected anything else.
Well, that's right. She said that, you know, if it was possible to leave the entire back row, she would have.
So she will just continue on. Marianne DiRupo now getting ready to throw her second frame. She qualified 3rd with a 202 average. The score's pretty low this week, Lisa, a challenging lane condition.
That's right. We bowled on 41 feet of oil, but the condition was basically flat, which means, you know, there's not going to be a lot of hold. If you miss left, that ball's going left. Not a lot of room to the right either.
Like that.
That's right.
A little bit right, no recovery. And that's why the players chose 2 basic angles.
That's right, and they chose what was most comfortable for them, equipment-wise and where they played on the lane. And making spares. Big key this week.
Huge key with those kind of averages. You can't give a spare away. Carolyn, same type of reaction you just saw from Marianne. Coming up light. Marianne's changing balls to shoot this spare. Covers up the 2-4-5. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard Now going to shoot at the 2-5. Seems to be spread a little bit.
Oh, she dropped that. Didn't matter.
Carolyn's mic'd, so you'll hear her talking a little bit. Liz Johnson now up in the second frame. Coming up a little high, leaving a 4-7. Players just settling in. And Lisa, after last week, for those of you that watch the show, they bowled on so many different lane conditions. Now, many of the players found this week tougher than last week. They scored higher last week.
Yes, they did. That's because of what I said before, the conditions being fairly flat. Not a lot of room for error.
Well, last year, Alita Sill made history at Tiki Lanes, becoming the first professional woman bowler to reach the $1 million earnings plateau. Will history repeat itself this year? We'll find out as the PWBA heads to Tiki Lanes in Lancaster, Ohio for the Columbia 300 Open. The tournament begins with the Pro-Am event on Sunday, October 8th and continues through Thursday, October 12th. For tournament and Pro-Am information, contact Greg Russell at 740-654-4513. Coming out and bowl that Pro-Am, you'll get to bowl with these wonderful ladies like Lynda Barnes, who bowled even though she just flew back from Japan, exhausted. They love to bowl the Pro-Ams, and they love to meet all of you and give you pointers if you want them.
Well, that's right. And speaking of Pro-Ams, this right here, this lady is one of everyone's favorites. She is great with the public, and everybody should come on out and experience this at least once.
DiRupo in the third frame, leaving a 10-pin. She said good shot to herself.
It was a good shot.
And now Carolyn Dorin-Ballard in the third has been unsuccessful, unable to strike at least. Has been picking up her spares though through 2 frames. That's a tough one. Possible though. She'll give this one a run. 3, 6, 7, 10, while Marianne changes balls to convert the 10-pin.
Carolyn's going to have to send the 3-pin over into the 7. Can be pretty tricky because you don't want to catch too much of the 3 because you're not going to get it over there. Carolyn is a great spare shooter, though. Come on, come on.
Oh, gave it a good run. Used her spare ball so it would slide across the lane, but not enough. Liz Johnson now stepping up in the third, and she just hung on in position around needing to pick up a split for 310 just to make the show.
That's right, Kendra Cameron back in 7th just about caught up to her. She shot a 220-something game, 227 I believe, but didn't win the match.
So Liz Johnson made it to the show by just 9 pins. Marianne DiRupo now up in the 4th frame, trailing by 1 pin behind Liz Johnson. Bucket light again on lane 18. And this is how the week was. Struggle to hit the pocket and then struggle to carry when you hit it. But that is, we have a lane man that travels with the tour. He chooses the condition, puts it down, and the players play on it. It really is no reflection on the bowling center.
Not at all.
Right. It's just the pattern, and sometimes they try to alter it in a tough condition. It's good for the pros. They want to sharpen their skills just like the people at home.
That's right. The pattern that we have, there's just not much of a buildup of oil. We haven't played on this one so far this year, this type of pattern. This is the first, so that's why the scores are a little bit on the lower side. So Liz, qualifying 5th, she was only at about 201 average.
Right, 201.14, only averaged 196 on this TV pair.
Well, this pattern, Jan, it's kind of a little bit unusual in the fact that the oil is all the way across the lane, further down the lane, around the 15-foot area.
Well, through 4 frames, Liz Johnson has the lead by 5 pins. We'll be right back with more of the Brunswick Women's World Open. We're back at the Brunswick Women's World Open through 7 frames. Liz Johnson has the lead by 8 pins despite some really tough spare conversions. She picked them all up. The other ladies unable to carry. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard just striking finally in the 7th frame. But Liz Johnson picked up a 2-4-10 and it was high a couple times. Made some great spare conversions.
That's right, as we're seeing Marianne's max score 222, still quite a bit in the match. You know, Liz so far has lost 10 pins in count, with a 6 count and 2 7 counts. Could be pretty important at the end of the match.
It sure can be. Marianne finally knocking all 10 down. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard up in the 8th. She is working on a strike. She could get herself right back into this match with another strike here.
Also at 222 for her max.
Right, she's actually 18 pins down, but with the strike, she'll also be 8 pins behind Liz Johnson. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard is one of 3 women named as Bowlers of the Month by the Bowling Writers Association of America so far this year. Dorin-Ballard received the honor for April as she captured the Bowl for Blindness Classic title. Wendy McPherson was the recipient after winning her 2nd WIBC Queen's Crown, and in August it was Alita Sill as she returned to the winner's circle with her 31st title at the Greater Atlanta Open. Congratulations to all, and a big shot there by Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, leaving a 10-pin, though. Really needed to carry that one to get herself back into the match.
Well, her carry this week, she said, has just been tough. You know, she's hit the pocket a lot, so that's the big key, though, hitting the pocket first.
Next score for Liz Johnson, 230. That's the 8-pin lead we've been discussing. And she's going to try to get all of that 230.
Liz is using 2 different balls for this match.
Well, she had been high on lane 17 and light on lane 18, so apparently she's made that change. Marianne DiRupo working on a strike in the 8th now. Down by 8, she can take over the lead with a strike here in the 9th frame. Look at the titles that these 5 ladies you'll see tonight have. Relatively low compared to some of our fields lately.
Well, that's right. Carolyn leading the pack right there with the 9. Marianne and Liz with 6.
Big shot from Marianne DiRupo. She takes over the lead at least momentarily through 9 frames. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard will have to start something here or set one up in the 9th. She wants to say hello to Big G, her dad, who had surgery a while back. He's doing very well. We're all glad to hear that.
Come on!
Definitely had to have that one. Also, she's been working on Sister Kathy Doran's upcoming wedding, trying to help her prepare for that.
That's right. A lot of big preparations. December 2nd's the big day.
Liz Johnson can take the lead back over with the strike here. Oh. Terrible break.
Wow.
The rack was a little slower. She would have had a good break. It was going to knock over the 10-pin.
Well, she missed looks like a little bit left of target, and you don't have to miss a whole lot. You know, she got a bad break by the 6 falling out. She would have at least have a chance to make it, and now it's just hoping that she bounces something out with the back.
Marianne not carrying in the 10th frame. So the best Marianne can shoot is 201. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard will still have a chance at this match, and Liz Johnson almost converted the 7-10. She's done it before. She's one of the ladies who can because of her ball speed.
Well, Marianne's going to have to make this and have some good count in the fill ball to have an even better chance at this match, because Liz's max is 198 still.
Exactly. Any way you look at it, Carolyn Dorin-Ballard has to strike right here. She's going to need at least 2 strikes, possibly all 3 if Marianne throws a strike on her fill ball.
That's right, all 3 is a guarantee.
Good.
Not to be.
No, just jumping up a little high. She thought she made a good shot off her hand. So now Marianne concerned to get the most she can right here. She'll need 8 pins to shut out Liz Johnson. That's enough. So Marianne DiRupo will move on, but first when we come back, we'll tell you about where to go for information on the Women's International Bowling Congress. Please stay with us. Final score match 1, Marianne DiRupo 201 to Dorin-Ballard's 170 and Johnson's 188. Marianne DiRupo will face Lynda Barnes next, right after this. Last week we saw the murals of Lake Placid. This week we see the murals of Junction Lane. Just this is inside Junction Lane's right behind us on the wall. Fantastic long mural. They have some things all over this building. You need to come in and see Junction Lane's in Newman, Georgia. Beautiful facility. We're ready for the semifinal match of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Marianne DiRupo will start the match. Lynda Barnes deciding Marianne should go first. Not exactly the opening shot she wanted to see, leaving a 6-10. Many of the players on staff with a lot of the companies, Marianne on the Fab Ball staff, also contour power grips.
Once again, changing to spare ball for the conversion. You always want to do this because the ball is not going to hook a whole lot, and it's easier to get it over there to make that.
Lynda Barnes. First look at Lynda tonight, 32 years old. She's been on tour for 2 years, but Lynda dates back a lot. She goes back to a lot of tournaments, international competition, as we talked about. She's been around bowling competitively for a long time.
Yes, for more than 10 years. She started with Team USA in 1989. So when we talk about jet lag from her trip to Japan that she recently returned from, it's not a problem at all for her.
In fact, she told us that in '89 on Team USA, her very first trip was to Japan, so she thought this might be a little bit of an omen for her for this event. But there were other players besides this. As we mentioned, Kendra Cameron just missing by 9 pins, finishing up in 6th place this week. Robin Masanti, after the emotional doubles victory, she's having a great week, looking for a singles title again.
Well, Alita Sell in 12th. She was a winner in Marietta. 13th, Allison Almang. She moved up 7 spots in match play this week.
Ooh, a little bit high again, leaving a 4-pin. And in a tie for 15th position this week, just making the cut, Laura Moriarty shot 300 last game to make that pretty impressive. Julie Jackson, a regional member, has made 2 consecutive cuts.
Well, look down there in 23rd, Brenda Norman. She's back after breaking a finger just a few months ago. Our alternate was Michelle Feldman. She missed by 1 pin.
We saw that regional player. Regional players are allowed to bowl 3 national stops, so if you're a regional member, come on out and join us for a national stop. Julie's been very successful these last 2 weeks. If you're not a member, why not? Call the PWBA office or visit pwba.com and find out how you can join. Boy, and they are just copying each other, both leaving a 6-10, now both leaving a 4-pin.
Well, Marianne just about got the trip from the 9-pin on this. What a great break that would have been. Watch the 9-pin. Coming forward, no, short pin. Long lane. Leaving herself with an easy spare, though. She'll make this and move on, hitting the pocket.
Talented athlete. We talked about the fact that she played pro softball. She told us about their success.
Well, the women's softball team winning the gold medal was very exciting for me. A lot of people ask me if I miss softball, but I do miss it. However, I really enjoy bowling. I played with and against 4 of the girls that are currently on the team right now, so I'm really excited for them, and it's more positive to the ladies that are playing softball and the ladies' sports all around.
It certainly is, Marianne. A lot of women's sports teams very successful recently. obviously the soccer last year and women's softball. And these ladies are great athletes in their own right. Individual sport, a little bit different than a team sport.
That's right. You have to work out to stay on top out here. The players are just too good. They'll beat up on you. So you got to stay in great shape.
Lynda's best finish this year, second. Oh. Yeah, you've seen that happen to you before, haven't you, Chris Barnes? Lynda's husband, he's a PBA star and was a Rookie of the Year on the PBA Tour.
I think he finished third over in Japan. She went to go watch Chris on that long trip and finished third, so she said it was a great time all the way around. Chris had the same look on his face when she leaves 4 pins like that he does.
He does. We talked about staff, both of these players, well, Lynda and her husband Chris, both on the Brunswick staff. It would be appropriate for her to win this event, being the Brunswick Women's World Open. She's also on Turbo and bowlingballmall.com. Coming up light.
A little bit more speed there. And we saw it go right through the break point, leaving the 258. Tricky spare. Gonna see this ball. She has great form, doesn't she? Look at that. Just lays it right over the foul line. Doesn't make much of a noise at all.
Oh. Well, it's Marianne DiRupo in the lead right now, but we'll be right back with more of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Stay with us. We're back at the Brunswick Women's World Open. Lynda Barnes will be stepping up in the 7th frame, trails by 3 pins, working on a strike. During the break, there was some conversation with her husband, Chris Barnes, regarding equipment.
At HTC? It's on the rack. Think she should change to it? You should call it back on the, go further left.
A lot of coaching going on. That was Chris Barnes checking with ball rep Art McKee about equipment, and Chris advising Lynda, as her husband, what he thought she should do, and there's Art looking on. Lynda already had that ball on the rack, so obviously it was in her mind that she might want to go to that ball.
Right, she did warm up with that one a little bit, and he told her, gave him a little bit of advice. Make a parallel move left, and keep it pretty straight. Just let it fall back a little bit.
And she did strike in the 6th frame. Now not striking in the 7th. She trails by just 3 pins. Seems to be closer with that change.
That shot came up a little light once again. You're going to see it just not grabbing until it's right in front. And that's, she is kind of playing a little bit of a fallback shot. It's falling back away from the pocket most of the way. Oh, no. And that one just fell back about 60-plus feet.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Chris is stunned, and we all are. Never, very rarely would we ever see Lynda make a mistake like that.
She's going, you know what she's thinking right now? How could I miss that? It's in the middle of the lane. That's what I always think. 3 frames left. She's going to have to get something going here, because she can still shoot 202.
Wow, that'll shake you up a little bit. She needs to regroup. Marianne just trying to stay within her own focus. You can tell Lynda visibly upset.
She's playing pretty deep inside, around the 4th arrow, the 20 board, and that ball, she just got that one right through the break point once again. Switching to a spare ball, she's just going to throw it pretty hard, pretty straight, a little bit left of the head pin, knock it over into the 10.
Oh, great shot. Way to come back.
You're right. Well, you saw the pumped fist there and that reaction. This is just a perfect way to make this. Called a washout. And boy, what a good time for that. I left a bunch of those this week. Every time I shot it, I think I made about one.
I was going to just say, I'm sure you picked them up just like that.
Yeah, okay. I sent the head pin around the 10 along.
Marianne DiRupo in the 8th frame, leaving the 10 pin. She was in the lead by 15 pins before that shot. Now make it 14. Marianne scores a little lower. I mean, she shot a lot of 214 games she was talking about throughout the week, like 6 214 games. So,
yeah.
You know, she thought that would be good enough today to win. She's not even needing that. Hangs on to shoot the 10. Now in the lead by 14 pins. There you can see both players. Well, Marianne opening in the 6th, and then Lynda opening in the 7th frame. If you've been wondering how you can get involved with the PWBA, the answer is to join the PWBA Bowlers Club. For $29.95, you'll receive a logo desk clock, a semi-annual newsletter, plus you'll be entered in daily drawings of $100, Friday drawings of $200, and have a chance at 2 $5,000 drawings. Visit www.pwba.com or call 1-800-426-8823 to sign up now. Marianne DiRupo in the 9th frame. Max score 206. Oh, beautiful shot. Seems to be holding up well.
Very aggressive on Marianne's part right there, and that was a big setup frame. That was the 9th.
Apparently, Dr. Daniel Shields did a good job for Marianne DiRupo. I know she's been seeing him all week. He's been on hand helping all the ladies, as it is such a physically demanding sport.
That's right. A well-known chiropractor in this area, and was here every day, and what a nice gentleman he is.
Max score for Lynda Barnes was up there, 192.
Good comeback shot for Lynda.
One more like that.
A little bit of light carry right there.
She knows that she needs to get back in this match, and she trusted this once again. You're going to see, you know, it didn't look that far, you know, off of the other shots, but it grabbed a little bit earlier.
She knew she had to have that strike. She needs she needs all three here, 192 to force Marianne DiRupo to get that first strike. Just not able to get that ball to turn over, sliding all the way down. Marianne looking up at the score.
Well, knowing that she's well in control of this match, because even if Lynda spares and strikes, she only has 172. And Marianne's just going to have some good count, and that'll get the job done.
Oh, wow. Tremendous amount of slide. Well, Marianne DiRupo breezes by Lynda Barnes to remain aboard at Junction Lanes. We'll recap her path when we return. The PWBA continues its trek up the East Coast with the inaugural North Myrtle Beach Classic next Monday at 8 p.m. Join Lisa and I for all the action from the North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's Monday, October 9th at 8 p.m. with a repeat airing Thursday, October 12th at 1 p.m. So far tonight, a late charge by Marianne DiRupo gave her the victory over Dorin-Ballard and Johnson, 201 to 170 and 188 in match 1. In match 2, both players struggled, but Marianne DiRupo survived over Lynda Barnes, 185 to 160. Coming up next, Marianne DiRupo will get her shot at the gold against Cara Honeychurch. Don't go away. Last year at Junction Lanes, when this event was called the Choo Choo Classic, Lisa Bishop won the event with shots like this. Just what you want to see. We're back here this year for the Brunswick Women's World Open, a new title for the event, same venue, but because it's the World Open, Cara Honeychurch also considered defending champs, and she won the Brunswick Women's World Open last year in Chicagoland area. So far, all players have struggled a bit tonight. We'll see if the championship match gets any better, if the players can get lined up, but it was what happened all week, so it's holding true to form.
Right, there's no surprise to any of the players, you know, and Marianne's doing exactly what she needs to do, and that is stay pretty clean, and boy, just as I say, stay clean, look what happens.
That could not have been timed any better.
Whoops. Now, she said good shot, so, and she did throw it good.
She
did.
did.
It was just, you know, maybe, with the break in the little bit of play on the lanes, the ball might start hooking a little bit more, so she's going to get a little more aggressive and probably move a little left.
She's going for it. Oh. Good shot at that spare. Almost continued to stay clean. Cara Honeychurch, 28 years old. First year on tour, it is her rookie season, and if you wonder why we say she's defending champ and she's a rookie, our rules dictate that if you haven't bowled 4 national events, you are still considered a rookie. So even though she bowled this last year, this is her rookie season.
Certainly not a rookie to all competition, though. You know, she's just been she's been bowling all over the world for a long time, and when she came out here, she was ready.
She was more than ready,
Yes,
although she thought, you know, she needed to learn quite a bit and is still learning, and she does. She acknowledged how talented all these professional ladies are. And this was a challenging condition, and we talked to Cara about why she does well on those types of conditions.
I think, Lisa, one of the reasons that I've performed well on the tough weeks is a lot of the experience that I've gained bowling overseas, particularly in some of the Asian countries that I've bowled in. Some of the lane conditions that we've experienced have been extremely difficult, and also we have to compete against the spinners as well, which always makes it very challenging. So I think that really has stood me in good stead for toughing it out on the weeks where the scores are a little bit lower.
Well, she sure is toughing it out this week, leaving the 7-pin. In fact, she told us, Lisa, this is the toughest pattern she's bowled on in a long time, but she's a grinder.
Well, that's right. Her philosophy is make that spare. So
she talked about an interesting mindset. She told us she went into this week when she found out it was going to be a little challenging, thinking 210 was a great game, and you know the tough pair, she wanted to get close to 190.
That's right, and and her average for the tournament was 210.
So she had a lot of great games the way she was viewing it this week. Covers up the 7-pin. We've seen her have a little bit of problem with that in the past on television, but well in control tonight. Marianne DiRupo also took the mindset this week of just trying to fill frames.
And that means spares.
You coined a phrase last night. You said, make that spare. That's going to be this week's title.
That's right. It's, we're going to bring back one of those shows of old time. Make that spare.
And there's a strike in the second frame, so there'll be no 300 award by PWBA.com this week because no one's going to shoot 300, obviously.
Well, Marianne has a great game. She is a very solid 4-step approach. Watch the legs on this. Watch how low she is at the foul line. She's going to get a very deep knee bend, great extension. Look at how far she's stretched out right there, and that's going to give her direction, all the direction she needs to do that.
Wants to do a little more of that. Cura TV stats, 211 average, 39 and 33. Anytime you have a winning percentage, good on television, and another split on lane 17, this time even higher.
Well, that's right. The split that she left in the first frame was the 4-9, and that was in the pocket. This one would not be really considered in the pocket. It was a little bit higher than that, and she's going to more than likely just take 8-1 on this again.
That's exactly what she does. So I'll look at Lisa Bishop just a few minutes ago winning this last year. Lisa Bishop won the event last week against Cara Honeychurch, and Cara said, you know, hey, she's glad she didn't have to pick the lane conditioning pattern this week. If you saw her show last week, she got to choose, but she said, hey, you know, Lisa shot a great game. You can't be upset about that.
Well, I told Cara, I said, I just, you know, if it's any consolation, I don't think you would have beat her on any pattern that you picked, because Lisa was pumped up, she was ready to go, and I really think she had, you know, all the confidence that she was going to win that tournament. So, but Cara did say last night that it's my turn now.
Well, it looks like it is becoming a make that spare contest, and some very tough spares at that. 3-6-7.
Got to slide the 3-pin into the 7. Ooh, just slid by.
Good run at it. So it's just going to be who can stay out of trouble. It appears whoever can stay out of trouble the most will win this match.
We're going to see this. There was Cara's attempt at converting this split. Look at that. Barely slid by the 3-pin. It was probably a matter of, you know, half an inch, whether she makes it or not.
Back on target, but leaving the 6-pin. Good shot into the pocket. We talked about Marianne watching the Olympics and the soft. Cara also very obviously interested in the Olympics in her home country, native country. She also has a friend who did well in the Olympics, won gold on a gold medal.
That's right. She wants to say congratulations, and it's making her very homesick.
Right now, Cara Honeychurch is in the lead. We'll find out who will be this year's Brunswick Women's World Open champ in a moment. We're back at the Brunswick Women's World Open. There's the beautiful trophy that one of these ladies will walk away with tonight, as well as the prize money, $14,004 on top. Cara Honeychurch on top right now in this match. Going into the 7th frame, she leads by 5 pins. While we were away, she 9 counted through the 4th and 5th. Marianne DiRupo's in the strike spare mode, not carrying on one of the lanes, striking on the other. So a very, very close match going on. Cara Honeychurch, 7th frame. And she made a change, Lisa. They were talking, she was talking with Randy Stoughton, the ball rep from Ebonite, Cara on Ebonite's staff. I think he suggested a ball change.
Yes, he's nodding his head. When she looked over, I think she said, should I? And he said, yes. So
yes,
I think she has made a ball change, probably to something, looks like probably the same type of ball, just maybe a little different drilling pattern.
Fall swing so far. Cara Honeychurch won the Greater Orlando Classic, and look at the 6th, 2nd.
And qualifying 1st. So no lower than 2nd here.
Leading by 5, can take it to 15. Good shot. She's in the pocket. Seems to be lined up. You know, I mentioned the bowling riders. They're a very important part.
We're going to look at this as Cara's last shot. Watch the head pin. Look at the head pin come back off the wall. It was a very aggressive shot. The 4-pin just about took out the 7.
Didn't happen though, so Cara will have to take it out on her own, and she does that successfully. I was mentioning the bowling riders, very important part of the Professional Women's Bowling Association and the tour. They do a lot for us. Talked about the Bowlers of the Month. Dan Gluss, the president of the Bowling Writers Association of America, does a lot to help women's pro sports and women's pro bowling. And I also want to extend our sympathies to an award-winning syndicated bowling columnist, Richard Kolb, on the recent passing of his father. So, Richard, our prayers are with you, and thanks for all you do. Marianne now up in the 8th frame, trailing by 5 pins. Oh, and almost a repeat of an earlier shot while we were away. A pin came across and knocked the 6-10 out just like that.
Well, once again, not finding the pocket. Right around the 4th there. Looks like about 18 board. And going right through the heart of the pins. Just about a good break.
today happened to mark the 50th anniversary of the first appearance of Charles Schulz's Peanuts comic strip. In order to celebrate, the International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame in St. Louis, Missouri, unveiled a Charlie Brown Peanuts exhibit that is set to run through Memorial Day 2001. In addition to 12 original hand-drawn and signed Peanuts strips, it will also feature numerous replicas of the famed Peanuts Goes Bowling strip. I don't want to give too much away, so head to the International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame in St. Louis, Missouri to pay tribute to the great Charles Schulz and the Peanuts gang taking part in their favorite pastime, bowling. Marianne DiRupo trailing by 6 pins as she enters the 9th frame and still not able to carry, leaving a 10-pin. That'll put her deficit to 7 pins.
Well, Marianne has found the pocket on this lane just about every time now. And a little bit light in the pocket. You can see the 6-pin just kind of lay down in the channel, not taking out the 10. In the last frame, she left a 7. The frame before that, she left a 5-pin. So she's right around the pocket.
And that is what she tried to do all week and will continue to do. That's all you can do at this point, Lisa. Or would you wouldn't try anything drastic, would you?
No, you can't, because if you do try something drastic, you may lose the pocket, and you're going to leave something you can't make. So the best thing to do, and that's what all these players here did, was they stayed with what they knew best, and that was get to the pocket, find their most comfortable position, most comfortable equipment, and just make it happen.
Max score 202, 9th frame, Cara Honeychurch.
Well, you can see what happens if you don't catch it. Ball just didn't pick up a roll and went down the lane too far, left a 3-5-6. This is Cara's leave here in the last frame. She just threw. You can see the ball just didn't have much on it when it gets to the pins. Tough spare.
Covers it nicely, no problem. To keep the lead, but only by 4 pins. So she will actually need 2 strikes and 7 pins to shut out Marianne DiRupo in the 10th frame. 4 pins, boy, even a low match can be a great match.
That's right, and Cara had the choice to start first or second. She chose to start second so that she could finish it out here and put the pressure on Marianne, because you know that when you've got the pressure on you in this type of a situation, you want to get it done and out of the way first.
Marianne not looking as Cara caught all of that shot. What a great one that was. Needs 1 more and 7 pins.
Adding a piece of tape to the thumb hole. Going to make it just a little bit more snug. She wants to stay aggressive here, I can tell. She doesn't want to lose it and let the ball drift out to the left.
And that's a good lesson, even at any point.
Oh yeah, in a pressure situation, your hand, the size of your hand is going to fluctuate. It does with just about everybody.
Needs this strike. Oh. Good shot. Didn't carry the 6. Marianne glanced up to see, do I have a chance?
This was a very good, aggressive shot on Cara's part. I mean, it's just an unfortunate break. She just did not carry the 6. Her reaction tells the whole story right there.
Spares it up for a final score of 179. So Marianne now will need 2 strikes and 5 pins to win this match. And the title.
That's right.
Must strike. And it's not going to happen, so Cara Honeychurch successfully defends her Brunswick Women's World Open title. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Cara Honeychurch successfully defended her Brunswick Women's World Open Championship. Final score 179 to 160. And she receives her accolades from Andy Shipman, the Director of Marketing for Brunswick. He presents her with a check for $14,400. On hand with the trophy, Mike Daniels, Assistant Manager of Junction Lanes, as well as Larry DeMoss, the General Manager here at Junction Lanes. So Cara Honeychurch eases her homesickness with her third career title. Please join us next Monday night for the North Myrtle Beach Classic. The action begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN2. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. So long from Newman, Georgia. We'll see you next week. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.